Something inside me and I'm sharing it. I'm just cruising for clarity with a therapist. Hey, let me roll down the window. Hosted by Francisco Castillo. Hey, yeah, you deserve to be heard. Explore what you feel, no stress or concern. Hey, something inside me and I'm sharing it. I'm just cruising for clarity with a therapist. Let's go.
Hey there, welcome to Cruisin for Clarity with a Therapist. I'm Francisco Castillo, and I'm really thrilled to have you here with me today. We all know that relationships can be quite a roller coaster ride, especially when conflicts decide to rear their heads. But here's the thing, how we handle those disagreements can make all the difference in the world. In this episode, we're diving into the fascinating work of John and Julie Gottman, who have dedicated years to uncovering the secrets of what makes relationships tick like clockwork, or fall apart like a house of cards. Through their innovative love lab, they've meticulously studied countless couples to pinpoint exactly what helps relationships either flourish or falter. We'll dive into these intriguing insights and explore how those initial conflict moments are more than just bumps in the road. They're actually crucial opportunities that can shape your future together in meaningful ways. Plus, I'll be sharing some super practical tips that are backed by science. Yep, we're talking about evidence-based strategies here that you can start applying right away. These tips will help you strengthen your bond and understand each other better, even when you're in the thick of a disagreement. Whether you're dealing with relationship hiccups or just want to make an already great connection even stronger, this episode has got all the tools you need. So get ready to learn how to fight fair and grow closer through every single conflict. Now, before we get into the nitty-gritty of the tools and strategies, let me hit you with something wild, because this blew my mind the first time I heard it. You ready? The Gottmans found that the initial moments of a conflict can actually predict a couple's future with over 90% accuracy. I mean, that's huge. They've studied thousands of couples and discovered that how you start a disagreement sets the tone for everything that follows. They've discovered that the way partners initiate a disagreement profoundly influences not just the ensuing conversation, but also the overall health and longevity of their relationship. Basically, those first few minutes set the emotional tone, good or bad, for everything that follows. If you start off on the wrong foot, it can spiral into negativity quickly. That's where they introduced this concept called a soft startup. It's all about approaching conflicts gently and thoughtfully rather than charging in with criticism or blame. For example, instead of saying something harsh like "you never listen to me," which might instantly put your partner on the defensive, you could express your feelings more kindly. You might say something like, "I feel unheard sometimes, and would love for us to discuss how we can communicate better." By taking this approach, you're way more likely to transform what could have been an ugly fight into a constructive conversation. This shift not only diffuses tension, but also fosters greater intimacy and trust between you two in the long run. It's amazing how just a small change in wording can make such a big difference. And here's the kicker. Once you've got that soft startup down, there's another piece to the puzzle that really seals the deal when it comes to keeping your relationship strong, even in the middle of conflict. The Gottmans call it the magic ratio, and it's exactly what it sounds like, kind of magical. Let me break it down for you. Basically, they discovered that couples who thrive and maintain a strong connection usually have about 5 positive interactions for every single negative one. This golden ratio holds true even when they're in the middle of an argument. By maintaining this balance, couples can create a chill and supportive atmosphere, which is super crucial for nurturing a happy relationship. So, how do you actually make this magic happen? Well, it starts with sprinkling in compliments during your conversations, like genuinely appreciating what your partner does or pointing out something nice they did recently. A little appreciation goes a long way. Humor plays a big role too. Sharing laughs can really lighten the mood and help keep you both connected, even if you're butting heads over something. It's also essential to validate their feelings. Take the time to truly listen and acknowledge their emotions, even if you're not exactly seeing eye to eye. On top of that, small gestures like saying thanks for everyday tasks, offering supportive touches like a hug or pat on the back, or cracking lighthearted jokes can go miles in keeping things balanced. These little efforts ensure that arguments remain constructive rather than spiraling into something nasty. By focusing on these positive interactions consistently, you'll build resilience together and strengthen your bond over time. This makes it much easier to tackle those tough conversations together without losing sight of what really matters, your connection with each other. Now, even if you're stacking up those positive interactions and keeping things mostly light and loving, there's still something that can sneak in and throw everything off track. The Gottmans call them the Four Horsemen, and no, not a cool band name. We're talking about 4 specific behaviors that can seriously damage your relationship if they become a pattern: criticism, contempt, defensiveness, and stonewalling. These bad boys show up when conflict gets out of hand, and trust me, they don't bring good vibes. So let's unpack each one and talk about how to replace them with something way healthier. These behaviors are like the harbingers of relational doom, leading conversations down a negative spiral if left unchecked. Let's start with criticism. This is when you target your partner's character instead of addressing specific issues at hand. For instance, saying something like, "You're so selfish," rather than pointing out that your partner forgot to do their share of the chores can trigger hurt feelings and defensiveness. It's usually more effective to stick to gentle complaints about specific behaviors without making it personal or attacking their character. Then there's contempt, which the Gottmans consider the worst offender among the 4. Imagine belittling remarks or biting sarcasm. These are examples of contemptuous behavior that can corrode a relationship over time. To counteract this negativity, try sprinkling in some genuine appreciation and respect for your partner's qualities and efforts regularly. Next up is defensiveness. This one's another biggie that often exacerbates problems by shifting blame instead of finding solutions. When you become defensive, you're essentially dodging responsibility for your part in an issue. Instead, try owning up to your role in whatever went wrong, even if it's just a small piece of the puzzle, and you'll create space for constructive dialogue. Finally, we have stonewalling. That's when someone shuts down emotionally or completely checks out because they feel overwhelmed by conflict. If you notice this happening during discussions, it might be helpful to agree on signals for taking short breaks so both parties can cool off before diving back into conversation with a clear mindset. Being able to spot these damaging behaviors early on and consciously replacing them with healthier communication strategies can really improve how you interact with each other and ultimately make your relationship stronger. All right. So once you've started spotting those 4 horsemen and working on swapping them out for healthier habits, there's still one more curveball that can show up, and it doesn't always announce itself. It's called flooding. And no, I'm not talking about water damage. I'm talking about that intense, overwhelming wave of emotion that hits during conflict and suddenly makes it feel impossible to think straight or even stay in the conversation. The Gottmans have studied this too, and it's a big deal. So let's break down what flooding actually is, why it happens, and most importantly, how to handle it when it hits. It's not just about feeling overwhelmed. It's actually your body's innate way of reacting to perceived stress or conflict. When you're flooded, your heart starts pounding like it's competing in a marathon. Adrenaline surges through your veins as if you were about to bungee jump off a cliff, and suddenly thinking straight or responding calmly becomes almost impossible. Your whole system switches into fight or flight mode, gearing up for survival rather than engaging in thoughtful dialogue. So what can you do when flooding hits? It all begins with awareness and proactive steps. Start by tuning into the physical signals your body gives you, like that racing heartbeat that feels like it's trying to set a new speed record, sweaty palms that make you feel like you're gripping an ice cube instead of air, or the tightness in your chest as if someone cinched an invisible belt around it. Once you've picked up on these cues, communicate them gently to your partner. It's crucial to agree ahead of time on an easy phrase like, "I'm feeling flooded, I need a break," so there's no misunderstanding or additional tension added to the mix. Remember, taking a break isn't about abandoning the conversation entirely. It's more about hitting pause so you can regroup and calm down using techniques such as deep breathing exercises that soothe frayed nerves or stretching out those cramped muscles with some light movement. Even going for a brief walk can work wonders by giving both mind and body some much needed space. Afterward, both of you can return to the discussion more composed and ready to approach it together with renewed clarity and cooperation. Once you've learned how to recognize flooding and take a step back when needed, the next layer is understanding your overall conflict style. Because here's the thing, not every couple argues the same way. Some go full steam ahead, some keep it chill, and others kind of avoid the whole thing altogether. The Gottmans identified 3 main styles of conflict management: avoidant, validating, and volatile. And understanding which one fits your relationship can seriously change the game. So let's break down what each of these looks like and how they can help or hurt your connection depending on how they're handled. Avoidant couples tend to prioritize harmony over confrontation and might choose to sidestep conflicts entirely. This strategy can create a tranquil atmosphere in the short term, but might lead to emotional distance over time if issues aren't addressed. To maintain closeness, it's crucial for avoidant couples to engage in open conversations about their feelings and concerns. Then there are validating couples who manage disputes with calmness and empathy. They focus on understanding each other's perspectives and strive for compromise. However, they need to inject spontaneity and warmth into their interactions occasionally. Otherwise, their relationship might start feeling more like a routine rather than an exciting partnership. Lastly, volatile couples thrive on passionate exchanges and intense arguments. Their interactions can be fiery, filled with energy that keeps the relationship dynamic. The key for them is balancing those strong emotions with humor and affection so disputes remain constructive instead of turning hurtful. Understanding which conflict style resonates most with your relationship can help you navigate disagreements more effectively. It fosters mutual respect and deeper understanding between partners, allowing conflicts to strengthen rather than weaken the bond you share. Now, even when you know your conflict style and you're doing your best to communicate with empathy, there are still going to be those issues that feel stuck. Like no matter how many conversations you have, you just keep going in circles. That's what the Gottmans call gridlock. And it's not just about the topic itself. It's usually tied to something deeper, something that really matters to each of you. So let's talk about how to move through those stuck points by tapping into what they call the dream within conflict. This one's powerful. This method encourages couples to shift their attention away from surface level disputes and instead delve into understanding the underlying dreams and aspirations that fuel each person's stance. It's not about finding immediate solutions or compromises, rather it's about gaining insight into what truly matters to each partner on a deeper level. By encouraging partners to share their fundamental dreams with an attitude of empathy and respect, couples can foster an environment of mutual understanding and compassion. Over time, this process cultivates a safe emotional space where conflicts are transformed from mere sources of frustration into opportunities for deeper connection and intimacy. Instead of tearing partners apart, these disagreements become stepping stones toward building stronger relationships rooted in shared respect and love for one another's deepest desires. And once you've explored those deeper dreams behind the gridlock, there's still the day-to-day reality of making things right after a disagreement. Because let's be real, conflict happens. Even with all the insight and emotional awareness in the world, we're still human. The key is what you do after the dust settles. That's where the Gottmans 5-step repair process comes in. It's a simple but powerful way to reconnect, rebuild trust, and make sure those unresolved tensions don't quietly chip away at your relationship. Let's walk through how it works. The first step is all about expressing your feelings without playing the blame game. By doing so, both partners are given the opportunity to feel heard and truly understood, which is crucial for maintaining open lines of communication. It's important not just to listen, but also to empathize with each other's perspectives, even if you don't see eye to eye, because this fosters emotional safety and mutual respect. Next up is identifying what exactly ignited those intense emotions during the argument in the first place. This step promotes greater self-awareness and encourages compassion for both yourself and your partner in future discussions or disputes. Understanding these triggers can be enlightening and can pave the way for more mindful interactions moving forward. Taking responsibility for your role in the conflict and offering a sincere apology demonstrates that you're genuinely committed to acknowledging your partner's feelings as well as nurturing your relationship. This gesture goes a long way in healing any wounds caused by misunderstandings or heated exchanges. Finally, it's essential to collaborate on practical strategies for addressing similar issues down the road. By developing thoughtful solutions together, couples can approach potential disagreements with a plan that prioritizes understanding over conflict. By consistently applying these steps suggested by the Gottmans, couples have an opportunity to transform arguments into meaningful dialogues that promote deeper connection. Ultimately, this process strengthens their bond, making it more resilient against future challenges while fostering lasting intimacy and trust. Now that we've walked through how to repair after conflict, let's zoom out a bit and talk about the everyday habits that help keep your relationship strong, especially when things get tense. Because let's be honest, prevention is just as important as repair. Before we wrap things up, I want to leave you with some practical tools you can start using right now. These aren't just nice ideas. They're research-backed strategies that make a real difference in how you handle conflict and stay connected as a couple. Let's dive in. First on the list is the concept of softened startups. This technique involves initiating difficult conversations in a gentle and respectful manner, which helps create an emotionally safe environment for both parties. By avoiding harsh words or accusations, right from the get-go, you set a positive tone that encourages open dialogue. Next up is active listening, which is all about truly tuning into what your partner is saying. It means not just hearing their words, but also understanding their emotions and perspectives. When you show empathy and acknowledge their feelings, it helps them feel truly heard and respected, like you're actually walking in their shoes for a moment. Remember not to overlook emotional self-soothing techniques when tensions rise. Whether it's taking deep, calming breaths or stepping away for a quick breather, these methods can help you maintain your composure during heated moments. Another vital tool is making repair attempts regularly throughout your interactions. These are small gestures aimed at diffusing tension, whether that's injecting humor with a lighthearted joke, expressing affection with a simple touch or kind word, or offering a sincere apology when needed. Such actions can significantly lower stress levels and help repair emotional bonds. Lastly, strive to increase positive interactions even amidst disagreements. Simple acts of kindness or expressions of appreciation go a long way in maintaining an emotionally balanced atmosphere between you two. Ultimately, handling conflicts effectively boils down to nurturing an emotional connection where mutual respect thrives, not merely aiming to win arguments. By focusing on understanding each other deeply and maintaining that strong bond of connection and respect, you'll navigate conflicts more smoothly than ever before. So now that you've got some solid tools in your back pocket, things you can actually use the next time conflict creeps in, let's zoom out one more time. Because at the end of the day, conflict isn't the enemy. It's a part of every relationship. The real magic comes in how you show up during those tough moments. When you lead with empathy, curiosity, and respect, those arguments stop feeling like something to fear and start becoming opportunities to grow even closer. Let's wrap it up with that in mind. It's not about avoiding disagreements entirely. Rather, it's about transforming those moments of discord into opportunities for genuine connection and personal development. By employing healthy conflict resolution strategies, such as adopting a gentle tone, actively listening to your partner's perspective, managing your emotions effectively, and maintaining a positive outlook, you can turn challenging discussions into meaningful dialogues that strengthen the bond between you. Every disagreement holds the potential to uncover new insights about both your partner and yourself. It's like peeling back layers of an onion. Each layer brings you closer to the core truths of who you are together. Thanks for spending time with me today. I hope you'll incorporate these tips into your own relationship dynamics so that conflicts become stepping stones toward building a more resilient and fulfilling connection. Here's to turning disagreements into bridges that bring you closer rather than walls that push you apart. Until next time, stay connected and keep cruising for clarity. And remember, it's not about fighting less, it's about fighting right. See you next episode.
Stay tuned in, I hope you're coming back. A place you can grow, vibe out and relax. Time to get clarity, time to find joy. Find your inner self, discover and explore. Ayy, yeah, cruising for clarity with a therapist.